Hello children, today we are going to discuss pollution of water and air. First we are going to discuss about water. As we know, water is a renewable resource. This is because water is recycled naturally in the environment by the water cycle. Okay. Water is said to be polluted if it contains impurities that are harmful to human beings and for plants as well as for animals or to the environment. So the substances that pollute water are known as water pollutants. The main causes of water pollution are: first is sewage. Untreated sewage from homes is often disposed of into river, and children, you know, these waste contain many harmful microorganisms like bacteria, viruses, fungi and parasites that cause diseases such as diarrhea, dysentery, cholera, typhoid and jaundice. The other way is like dump industrial waste into the water bodies. Many industries produce waste material which are often discharged into rivers, like leather industry, textile and chemical industries. They throw out poisonous compounds or lead, mercury, arsenic, etc., which pollute the river and oceans. Some other polluting industries are oil refineries, paper factories and sugar mills. And the temperature of the wastewater from factories that is discharged into the river is often higher than the temperature of the river. The resultant increase in the river water temperature is itself a form of pollution, as it adversely affects aquatic plants and animals. Okay, children. Third is fertilizers and pesticides. Fertilizers and pesticides. Farmers, they use chemical fertilizers and pesticides in their field. These get washed off by rain into water sources. Sometimes they seep into groundwater and pollute groundwater. When these fertilizers they run off into water sources, they cause an increase in the growth of algae in water, which use up the dissolved oxygen from the water. When algae die, they become food or decomposers for decomposers such as bacteria. These also use the dissolved oxygen, so reducing oxygen content even further. And also, you know, the scum, or we say algae, covered the water bodies, and it also cuts off the supply of sunlight from reaching the water. This enrichment of water by nutrient, which leads to excessive plant growth and depletion of oxygen, is also known as eutrophication. Okay, children. So fourth is hospital waste, and you know hospital waste is also full of germs, and it is very harmful for the water bodies. Hospital waste contains many germs and harmful chemicals. If it is not treated properly before disposed, it can spread many diseases. Now, what is potable water? Potable water is a water which we use for drinking. So, how are we going to make water fit for drinking, or we make water potable at home? Okay, there are many ways. At home, water can be made potable by killing the germs in the following ways. First is boiling. Use water. The water which we are going to use, we boil it for 15 to 20 minutes to kill the germs. Second is UV rays. We pass the water. Okay, this is a special type of light called UV light. It kills the germs. It is used in several water purifiers available in the market today. Third is reverse osmosis process. This is also RO water, we call it RO water. Water is passed through a special machine called a semi-permeable membrane. It has very fine pores through which water can pass through, but not the impurities. RO water filters are commonly available in the market. They remove solid impurities such as some minerals and as well as germs also. Fourth is chlorination. Chlorination means when we treat the water with the chlorine to kill the germs, this process is called chlorination. Otherwise, children, in the cities, the water treatment plants are there. The process in the water treatment plants, they use the process. First is what? Sedimentation and decantation. They first allow the water to settle down, and then they remove the large solid particle which settles at the bottom. Then they treat the water with the alum. They remove the suspended impurities by treating the water by alum, and this process is also called loading. The water is then filtered by passing it through the sand filters. Germs are killed by adding chlorine. So this way, in like in city water treatment plants, they clean the water, river water. Now children, water, as we know, it's very important. We need to conserve it. So how are we going to conserve the water? First is we must not waste it. So using less water and avoid wastage. Second, for irrigation purposes, we use the method like drip irrigation, in which water is supplied to the roots of plant drop by drop. Third is recycling of water in factories and using it several times before it is disposed of. Next is effective flood control, especially by building dams and reservoirs. Next, we can conserve the water by soil conservation method also, such as planting trees increase the level of groundwater. Then treating sewage and factory waste before disposing them off into the river, that water should not be polluted. Next is using biodegradable fertilizers and pesticides, so that eutrophication type of thing or groundwater pollution cannot take place. Next is rainwater harvesting. We utilize this rainwater by harvesting rainwater. Now we are coming to the air. Same manner, the air, all we know, we all living things depend on air. We depend on for oxygen, and plants, they depend on oxygen as well as carbon dioxide. So as we know that 78% of air is what? Nitrogen, 21% is oxygen, 0.03% is carbon dioxide. So air is an extremely important natural source, and it is very essential for life. Air pollution. Air is said to be polluted if it contains substances that are harmful to humans, plants and other animals. The harmful substances are called pollutants. We are going to discuss these pollutants one by one. First is SPM. The full form of SPM is suspended particulate matter. Minute solid particles suspended in air are known as suspended particulate matter, or SPM. Unburnt carbon particle given out during the burning of fuel or from the exhaust of vehicles, and fine particle of cement given out from a cement factory are example of SPM. So the finer of these particles cannot be filtered by the hair of our nose, and hence are a major cause of lung diseases. They also settle on plant and interfere the process of photosynthesis. Second is carbon monoxide. During the In complete combustion, monoxide is produced, and this carbon monoxide, we say it's a poisonous gas, very dangerous. It mixes with the blood and prevent it from carrying oxygen. It can even cause death due to lack of oxygen. Third is carbon dioxide. Children, carbon dioxide, if it is 0.03%, it's fine. If it increases in the nature, it causes as we know, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. Okay. And it is produced when fuel is burned or by automobiles. Carbon dioxide itself is not a pollutant, but in excess carbon dioxide in the atmosphere traps the heat of the sun. This is called the greenhouse effect. This is believed to cause an increase of the temperature of the earth, called global warming. Some other gases are also they also cause the global warming. They are like methane, nitrous oxide, and water vapor. This scientists believe that the average global temperature may rise as much as 2 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. This can cause large-scale melting of ice in the polar region and also expansion of ocean. These factors can lead to flooding of coastal areas by seawater. Okay, now next is sulfur dioxide. Children, sulfur is present in coal as an impurity. Okay, when coal is burnt in homes, factories, or powerhouses, sulfur dioxide is given off. Sulfur dioxide is poisonous. It affects our lungs. It combines with the oxygen in the air to form sulfur trioxide. Okay, when it combines with the air, it forms sulfur trioxide. Okay, and when it reacts with water, it forms sulfuric acid. It forms sulfuric acid, and we call this what? Acid rain. Okay, rain mixed with sulfuric acid is called acid rain. It damages building and corrode metal structure. It also reduces the fertility of soil by making the soil acidic. Acid rain also cause harm to plants. Now next is nitrogen oxide. Children, nitrogen oxide is also given off by exhaust of automobiles and by some industries. It is also poisonous gas. It irritates the eyes and affects the large it affects lungs of the people. Nitrogen dioxide also reacts with water vapor present in the air, and it forms same manner what? Nitric acid. When it reacts with water vapor, it forms nitric acid. Okay. This also causes acid rain. Next is our chlorofluorocarbon, and we write it CFC. Okay. Chlorofluorocarbon are compound used in refrigerators, air conditioners, and aerosols. They damage the ozone layer in the atmosphere, causing an increase in the amount of ultraviolet rays from the sun reaching the earth. In the recent past, a thinning of this layer called the ozone hole. Okay, ultraviolet light causes damage to our eyes and skin and is known to cause skin cancer. And now children, one more thing I would like to tell you. CFCs are now being replaced by other compounds, and the damage to the ozone layer has been reduced. Now next pollutant is lead. Next is lead. A lead compound is added to petrol to prevent engine from knocking. Lead compounds emitted by exhaust of automobiles are absorbed by our body. They cause various problems such as mental disorders and brain damage. Now children, we know that these pollutants are very harmful. Now how are we going to conserve this air? First is by planting trees. As we know, plants, by planting trees. Okay. They reduce the dust particles in the air. They absorb excess of carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. Hence, planting of trees is very important for reducing air pollution. Second is, we must use smokeless stoves. Smokeless stoves, like the fuel which is in place of coal, kerosene, etc. For burning, like use of efficiently designed smokeless stoves for burning coal, kerosene, etc. Use of smokeless fuel such as LPG and CNG. Okay. LPG is what? Liquefied petroleum gas, and CNG is compressed natural gas, and it is less polluting. Okay, or we say LPG reduce the pollution a lot in the city. Next is unleaded petrol. Just now I told you about the leaded petrol. In place of leaded petrol, we use unleaded petrol. We are using in vehicle. This reduces the release of harmful pollutants in the air. To prevent pollution, vehicle green generator sets, etc. are fitted with a special device called catalytic converter. What is this catalytic converter, children? It changes harmful exhaust gases like carbon monoxide and nitrogen oxide into harmless carbon dioxide and nitrogen and water. So it converts, that is why we call it catalytic converter. It converts carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide and nitrogen dioxide into nitrogen and water. Okay. And in factories, powerhouses and petroleum refineries, the gases given off are scrubbed down with water before being released from the chimney. This removes the poisonous gases such as sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide by dissolving them. Next way is by using electrostatic precipitator. This removes particles of solids such as carbon from waste gases before they are let out into the atmosphere. So this way we can conserve the air. Thank you, children.